Hi, I'm Stacey and welcome to my Book Nook. And today we're going to be doing my October wrap up. I had to think about what month it was just then, but definitely the October wrap up. So, first, I wanted to start with the stats, and I will move over a little bit so I can put my graphic here. So, this month I hit a massive slump. I only read 3 books, one of which is a graphic novel. I read 890 pages, which is a lot less than I normally read. My average rating, though, was 4.3 because what I read was really good books. And so I read one author that I haven't read before and 3 authors that I have read before. So those are my known authors and one unknown. So let's get into this wrap up. The first one I wanted to talk to you about is The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. So, full transparency, I haven't finished this one, but it's looking to come to a 4 stars at the moment. We'll see if that happens. If that happens, then my stats have just gone a little bit out the window with the average rating, but I just put that as 4 stars because I think that's what it's going to be. So this one follows Carlotta Moreau, who is the daughter of Dr. Moreau. And he basically, they live on, well, originally in the original story, the island of Dr. Moreau, they live on an island. But in this story, they live on a peninsula in Mexico called Yucatan. And they live in a secluded area. And Dr. Moreau does these experiments and makes these hybrids, which are creatures which are part human and part animal. And it's following them and some visitors to, what is it called? To the place, to the house, basically. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's really interesting. And I've loved Silvia Moreno-Garcia's writing before, and I am again. And it's a really gorgeous cover. I really like this cover. And it was a gift from my sister, so I'm glad I'm enjoying it. But because of my slump, I just haven't finished it yet. But I'm hoping to today. It is the last day of the month, and I'm hoping to get some reading in. It's also Halloween today, hence the bat earrings. So, yeah, hoping for that one to be finished soon. First thing that I read in the month, and the thing that actually did put me in a bit of a reading slump, because it's quite long and quite a lot. But that was Babel by R.F. Kuang. This was a lot for me. I gave it 5 stars because it was absolutely incredible. But this is it's basically about colonialism, but it's also about the Tower of Babel, which is where our main character Robin is heading for study. So this is a dark academia, but it also involves magic in the form of silver working, which is a really interesting magic system where you inscribe words onto silver bars, and the kind of the lost meaning is the magic. And if you read it, you'll understand what I just said a bit better, because it is a bit complex. But I really enjoyed that. The love of language really comes out in this book, and I learned so many just little tidbits just going through it, from the many footnotes and just in general in the text. And you can tell that a lot of research has gone into this. and I just really enjoyed it. But it was challenging to me as well, as an English person, because it very much is against colonialism, and of course, England, lots of colonies. So, yeah, so some of this was quite difficult to read because of the vehemence towards English people, but it also made me kind of, obviously, it makes you question everything, and it made me almost war with myself because, yes, I am English, but I also have like Irish blood and Spanish blood, and it's it's just quite interesting to read that as a person. Like, Irish people obviously don't have the best kind of relationship towards English people, but I have both. So it's quite interesting to read that. I actually did do a reading vlog, or I have filmed part of a reading vlog that will be coming out at some point, with my thoughts right after I read this. And those are probably much more coherent than the thoughts right now because I'd only just read it. So that will be coming out soon, and if you want to know a bit more about it, it'll be in there. The last thing that I read was, well, it's not the last thing that I read, but the other thing that I read was Saga Volume 2. That screen is really hard to see, I'll just put it like that. It's Saga Volume 2, and that's a bit graphic, so I will put it down. But that, I started reading Saga a little while ago and just really wanted to get back into it. And Saga follows a couple from two warring sides. Their countries, well, planets in this case, are at war, and I'm trying to think how to describe it. Yeah, so their countries are at war, and they have fallen in love and had a child, but now both of their worlds are after them and trying to take away the child. So it follows them and their, like, how they're getting away, how they're trying to protect the child. And it's just really interesting. It's also very much an adult comic series, very adult. There's lots of graphic scenes and sex. There are some sex scenes actually, but there's a lot. There's a lot in it that's very adult. So just FYI. But I gave this second volume 4 stars because I really needed it after Babel. I needed something a bit more fun. Would I say fun? It's still quite a hard subject matter, but it's just parts of it are a bit more funny, and I needed something a bit more fantasy, sci-fi. It's more sci-fi, so it kind of worked out for that. In summary, I read 3 books that I really enjoyed, or am enjoying, and I did get in a slump, which is a shame. I'm hoping to very much be out of it soon, but I'm not doing too well with the Daughter of Dr. Moreau, even though I'm really enjoying it. So we shall see. I would say my favourite read was Babel, because that's what I've given 5 stars. Even if it was a difficult read, I did really enjoy it. So 5 stars for that one. And I think that's everything from me today. Let me know if you've read any of these books and tell me what you think. If you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!